And I just realized I don't got my notes. So you know. Great start to the video. Alright, we got the notes. Let's get into this one. What's up everyone, it's Quality here back in with a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about the mess of what Apple's calling the brand new iPad lineup. This thing makes no sense whatsoever. Not sure what Apple's doing here this year, but we're going to talk about why I think this whole line is a complete mess and why Apple might need to go back to a drawing board with a couple of these products. Apple decided to forego the usual October event that they always have. You know, around this time of year, they'll have some type of event that has some new iPads, some new Macs, you know, to go along with back to school. People might want to get like a laptop, a new tablet for school and needs, and they usually have them around this time of year, right before the holidays. And this time around, they said let's not do that and let's just release some new iPads through a press release. That's kind of sketchy, Apple. I'm just saying. To me, that's pretty sketchy. Now, I don't know about what y'all think, but I think that's kind of sketchy. Why you ask? Because well, these iPads kind of suck. Like, they suck. Okay, I think that's the best way to put it at this point. I don't have them in hand. It's just me seeing them through like what I'm seeing on YouTube, what I'm seeing from Apple website, all this other stuff, other people using it. To me, they suck. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I decided to purchase any of these iPads this time around because I just did not feel like it was a necessary purchase. You know, I just bought a bunch of other stuff, moving into this new apartment, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy a new iPad because one, it doesn't seem like a need. Like the upgrade doesn't seem worth it, and two, that's just mad money for what? You know, for what reason at this point? And really, honestly, Apple releases this later half of the year have been pretty lackluster. Like from the iPhone 14 launch event, you know, I wasn't big on the iPhone 14 that much. As you can see, I didn't buy one. And I feel like it could have been a lot better besides the upgrade, the new notch, some upgrade cameras. Cool, but the room design that they had with the sandwich design was not true, sadly. And they stick to pretty much the same design as what we have with the 13. And honestly, to me, it just didn't seem like I need to upgrade sort of phone. But in the past, there have been phones that felt like that. And then you have the iPhone 14 Max, which was pretty much a failure, according to reports saying that Apple's already decided to limit production on that phone. Geez, Apple, I wonder why that's happening. Like releasing a phone weeks after your launch of the whole line and expect people to buy a bigger phone, baseline phone, when the chip is the same chip as the year before in the Pros, like. That's just, to me, that's just disgusting. In terms from Apple, I think that's disgusting marketing. I think that's just not cool. It's bad for the consumers who don't know that it's the same exact chip and they could just get a cheaper 13 Pro. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, if you're talking about releases this year for Techtober and all this other stuff, Google kind of has the best release right now. Like, the Pixel line seems exciting. The new Pixel tab that might come out at some point seems exciting. You know, Google is actually in a place right now where I think they're going to experience a lot of growth. While Apple, this is not the year for them, I'm thinking, you know. But let's talk about the meat of the potatoes here. The potatoes on the meat of the potato, whatever you're talking about, the meat of the stew. Let's talk about the iPad line, and let's start with the iPad Pros. All right, the new iPad Pro has a spec bump to the M2 chip. Hooray, hooray, cool, that's all cool and all, but like that's just a chip upgrade. You know, the M1 chip is already good, and the M2 chip is good too. You know, it's obviously better than the M1, but like, Apple, the software is where things are going to come into play, and your iPad OS 16 launch was a mess. You know, Stage Manager isn't that great. There's a lot of other issues with it, you know, since the beta into now. And also just like, where's the desktop apps? You have the M chip for a reason. That chip should be inside the iPad so people could run Final Cut Pro, your audio apps, stuff like that. Pro apps that people want to use on your iPads are not there, but you're upgrading it with these new chips and stuff like that, I guess for production purposes to save money. But at the same time, it's just like, why am I buying an M version iPad if I can't get the benefits of having an M version like device, you know? That's, to me, that's just like a massive misstep. And look, they could be developing right now. It might take some time to make it switch over Final Cut Pro and other stuff to like touch-based software apps. And I get that. But there's been no indication. And this is the word of leaks. And there's been like no leaks regarding this. So to me, it seems like it's just not going to happen. But I'm going to hold my breath out for a little bit longer because I want to see it happen because I want to use Final Cut Pro on my iPad. Along with the new iPad Pros, the smaller iPad still does not have mini LED, which is is a questionable choice from Apple to do that. You know, they upgraded the bigger one to Mid LED last year, and people kind of expected, all right, maybe the smaller one will get this year, and might be some of the display panels or whatnot. Apple decided not to do that at all. That's scrapped. So it looks like maybe next year we might get an OLED version iPad for both, or maybe they might just put on one. Who knows? I don't know Apple at this point. They might, but that is what the rumors are saying. That's what we probably could expect, and hopefully it does come true. Really, in my opinion, they're just better off waiting until another year to make an iPad upgrade, an iPad Pro spec upgrade, because to me, it's just a tiny spec bump that people who bought the iPad last year are not going to upgrade. The people who didn't buy the iPad 2 years ago maybe might upgrade or might just get a cheaper M1 version, since, you know, there's not big of a difference. Like, ooh, I could float my Apple pencil over the screen. Like, that's cool, yeah, for artists, but for everyday users like me who doesn't like draw and stuff like that, you know, it's not that. Even then, I feel like I don't think it's that big of a reason to spend thousands of dollars to just get an iPad for that floating mechanism. It's cool, but doesn't seem worth it. If Apple had waited another year or maybe do an 18-month cycle instead, they might have enough screens or whatever they need to get the OLED screens on iPads to catch up to iPhones and put that on the whole line of iPad Pro instead of just the bigger one. And they could have a bigger, massive upgrade, and maybe wait until you have the Pro apps ready, if that is ever happening. You know, do something that's going to be substantial and make people feel excited to want to buy your new iPad. But right now, it's seeming like it's just the same old, same old. So yeah, I already have what you're selling on my M1 iPad just without the floating pencil thing, and you know, I don't need that. But that's not the only thing Apple decided to upgrade this year with iPads. They also decided to upgrade the base one on the iPad to have a whole new redesigned look. It looks more like an iPad Air now, you know, and the iPad Pro has got the squared off edges, no home button, smaller, kind of smaller bezels. They're still kind of big, but you know, they're smaller than usual, I guess. You have Touch ID in the top button now, no more home button. And you know, that's cool additions. They upgraded to more of like an iPad Air sort of vibe right there. Doesn't have a laminated screen. There's some other things with that iPad 2 that is just completely odd. The new iPad starts at $449, all right? And that means that they are still selling the older iPad model for $120 less than what they're selling this one for. So I mean, like, to have the 9th generation iPad, I believe it's 9th generation iPad, along with the 10th generation is kind of an odd move. But I get it for like schools and businesses who might need to buy bulk iPads. They had us there for a reason, so I get it. But so as the consumers, you know, you gotta need to sell me on this new iPad that costs over $400, because right now I'm not being sold. So yeah, they got the new redesign, the new iPads, and along with that, they also decided to include USB-C, not Thunderbolt, just regular USB-C instead of Lightning, which is awesome. You could connect USB drive, you could connect cameras. You won't get Thunderbolt speeds, but you do get that universal port that you can start plugging in things into your iPad and do some better work with it. That's going to be really good for schools who need to utilize USB-C devices, because that's just the norm now at this point. So that's pretty awesome. However, hear me out now, and this is the stupid part. It only supports the 1st generation iPad Pencil and not the 2nd generation. How does that pencil charge? Please let me know in the comments. Ding, ding, ding. It's charged by freaking a lightning port, lightning cable, a male lightning cable, whatever you need. Female, I don't know. Why? Okay, I'm just confused right now. Apple, why did you do this? Why did you make a new iPad with a USB-C, but you could only use the 1st generation iPad Pencil, and you can't charge it unless you get a dongle? Stop making us buy dongle. This is reminding me of the first MacBook they made with the only like 201 USB-C ports, and you had to buy a bunch of dongles to get other ports in it. At least back then, we was getting to a future where that was going to be necessary for a while, and it made sense. But this does not make any sense, because you're making people buy an extra dongle. I'm pretty sure you had to buy it separate. I could be wrong. I'm sorry if I am. But then okay, you gotta buy this dongle to know to charge the pencil. Then you gotta get like a long cable to plug it in. It looks stupid. It looks ridiculous. I guess technically you could use it and charge it now if you have a long enough cable, which is honestly kind of cool. But I also haven't tested out to see if that works. Maybe it shuts down the pencil when it's charging. I don't know. But okay, that's the first weird thing that's going on here. But like, you could also support those old Apple Pencils, but also support the 2nd generation Apple Pencil, because it's just an easier way to charge it, and it's better technology. Plus, it is kind of old at this point to where I feel like it should be able to support it. Because honestly, at this point, I think they need to release a 3rd generation Apple Pencil, and hopefully that comes soon. But like, the second generation Apple Pencil is out since I graduated college, which is like 2019, 2018. I think it's time for upgrade people. So there's no reason why that pencil should not be able to support on the base model iPad at this point in time, especially with the new design. But hey, the new iPad got cool colors. You got blue, silver, yellow, and I think like a pink or purple, something like that, red. Cool, you know, I love the yellow one. The yellow one looks fantastic. If I had to buy one, I'll probably get that. Also, they have a new Magic Keyboard Folio case. Magic Keyboard Folio, that's what it's called. It does not... Okay, look, you can't use the Magic Keyboard. Why? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's the same or similar size as to the 11-inch iPad Pro. I could be wrong, but, you know, it works on the iPad Air. So I feel like it should be able to work on that too. Whatever. You had to get this new keyboard. This new keyboard costs $250, I believe. So if you buy the keyboard along with the iPad, you're gonna be spending upwards of like over $600, $700 at this point. That does not seem like an affordable solution when you could get an iPad Air for a similar price, or you could get an iPad Mini for a similar price. You know, or you could just get a Pro at that point. If you're buying a keyboard, you might as well buy a Pro because, you know, what's the point? Why would any consumer, to me, okay, this is my biggest question here. Why would any consumer want to buy this iPad? You know, because the reason why I asked that is because, look, you could spend $150 more, you get an iPad Air, okay? A base model iPad Air. Spend $50 more, you get a way better, way more capable iPad Mini, which essentially is an iPad Air Mini because it's more in line with that than it is with this current iPad. Like, I would rather have a smaller tablet if I need I will sacrifice screen size if it means having a better iPad. You know what I'm saying? I would pay a little bit more to get an iPad Air, which is all around a better product, and honestly, the iPad that most people should be buying and not this one. I don't get it, Apple. Why did you release this product at the price point you did, with the accessories that you have, at the price point those accessories are at? And it just doesn't make any sense to me what you're doing with this line, because you have products that are technically below this one, I guess with the Air, that cost a little bit more, and like it's way better. And like for people out there, this iPad's in a weird spot, you know. To me, I would recommend people either spend a little bit less to get the generation before this one with the home button, or spend a tad bit more to get an Air. Or if you don't really care about the keyboard and stuff, just get a Mini, you know? I think there's ways around not wanting to spend $450 for what you get with this product. Because to me, what you get with this product is a complete mess. It's not really worth the money, in my opinion. It's just not. And like all in all, this is the first time I could say like the iPad Air line, not the first time, because there was a point in time when the iPad Air was just, the iPad in general was just in like a weird spot and just didn't make any sense. And I feel like we took a massive step back, and we're back in that case where it's a tricky time to want to do it, because Google's about to release a new tablet that also docks and could be a home display. Now that is actually innovative and cool, because that's something that Apple should have been doing with the HomePod at this point in time, but they haven't yet. And you could probably say the same thing about the iPhone line right now. The iPhone line is also kind of just weird. Like, why did you take away the Mini to bring a Max that's selling probably worse than the Mini sold? At that point, just have one regular base iPhone and just leave it at that. You don't need a Max, you don't need Mini. If those aren't selling well, scrap it and don't do that ever again. You just have your regular iPhone. And also, please include the same chip that across the line, and don't cheat consumers out of an upgrade, which is supposed to get an upgrade with your phone, but now you're cheating them out of it because technically, you know, they're getting last year's chip. That's just not cool. Like, I don't care if you want to expand the Pro line to mean something bigger. You have other ways to do it besides sacrificing the chips on the regular phones. Or just make what chip that? M16 whatever X, you know, do something like that if you wanna like separate the two, but at least give them an upgraded chip that's from this year, all right, before Android starts catching up to you, and Android is gonna start passing with the Qualcomm chips, and you're gonna be like, oh shoot, the Qualcomm chips faster than our base iPhone. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Hey, that's your fault. Well, that's it for me today. You know, that's my little rant regarding the new iPad line. To me, it just doesn't make much sense. I think Apple has a lot of work to do in order to refine this for next year, because right now, I just don't get it. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. You know, tell me how you feel about this new standard setup right here. I kind of like it, but you let me know too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out, and y'all catch you on the flip side.